I said, can can Bud defend himself against Canelo's power? Can Canelo just punch through Bud's guard? I mean, I think that's a logical and reasonable question to ask. Can he defend himself? Now, I don't believe that there's nothing that Crawford's going to be able to offer that 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 Canelo hasn't seen. I don't think that he is I don't think that that's something Canelo has to worry about. I think that I I think that Canelo will be able to handle Bud's power. I don't think that Bud's gonna hurt him with anything unless he catches him with a shot he doesn't see, which is possible, which it really is possible. But I don't think even if he targets the body over and over and over, I don't think that that's going to hurt Canelo. I think it may slow him down and make him drop his hands, more open shots, but I don't think that Canelo really has anything holding him back from walking Crawford down and just teeing off on him, except for the athleticism and the agility and maybe the speed of Crawford. But I do think that Canelo's a lot more slicker than people give him props for. I think that when you start dealing with Bud, I think there's some things that we need to ask. Now, can Bud make it hard for Canelo to get to him? I think it's easy to say yeah. It's easy to say yeah, but the question is for how long. So we've never seen Crawford at this weight, and Madrimov didn't have a hard time getting to him. Madrimov landed on him pretty frequently, to be honest with you. Madrimov landed on him, and Bud had a harder time getting to Madrimov. The Madrimov had a hard time getting to Bud. And I think that, yeah, Madrimov is a little bit more quicker and slicker of the feet, but I don't think that Madrimov is more slicker with the counter punching and head movement. I think Madrimov can move in and out better, but I don't think his head defense and movement is really superior to Canelo's. I do think that a lot of times Canelo takes off. Um, you'll see him doing a lot of his fights. You'll see him out doing stuff like golfing and stuff, but because he doesn't have nothing to worry about. I think that this time he's taking it serious. I think if you look at his training camp, I think if you look at the people he's bringing in, he's a lot more focused this time around. And I do think that you know that Bud is going to get a really good Canelo. Canelo was in shape a while ago, and Bud's looking damn good himself in the ring. I think he put on the weight the right way, but the conversation is okay. Now that you put this weight on, can he go 12 rounds of stopping Canelo from coming forward and just teeing off? And I think that Bud kind of alluded to we're gonna try to do things that he hasn't seen before. He's seen it all, and that you're not the first fighters to try to walk him down or go to the body. It's just that you go to the body, you're gonna leave yourself susceptible to a counter. Definitely, and Bud's not going to take too many counter shots. I don't care what they say about the game plan. It was cool to take that type of stuff at 147, and but if you go back and watch that Madrimov at 154, Madrimov had Crawford hit him with a few shots that made him stick out his tongue. And you know when they do that shit, they really hurt. They really felt it. Not saying that they were hurt or wobbly like that type of hurt, but they were definitely felt that punch. Um, Bivol did Dimitri Bivol. He did a. Let me see if I can prop this up because it won't let me switch it. He did a conversation, and they asked him on the difference between Bivol I mean, they asked Bivol the difference between Canelo's power and Beterbiev power. Now, if you watch Beterbiev, he has that George Foreman mummy, and he doesn't load up on the shots. You know, you get Tyson, they, bah, bah, they throwing their hips, they throwing their legs into it. Tank too, he boom, he come with it. But you have Beterbiev, he just tap 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 tap, and he has those such heavy hands, man. They, you know, Bivol said it's like hitting those stones, hitting him, bricks hitting him. But then he said that Canelo's power was more greater. He said because Canelo loads up on his punches. Canelo puts everything into every shot, and every shot he's trying to hurt you. Whereas Beterbiev, he's not loading up. He just boom, boom, boom. So he actually said that Canelo kind of hits a little bit harder. So if you have Beterbiev, who is highly regarded as one of the hardest punchers in the game, if not the hardest puncher in the game, especially when you have the belt. Everybody, oh, he's the hardest puncher, he's the hardest puncher. But Bivol jumps on there and says that Canelo isn't. I mean, Canelo's power is it hurts more or is greater in some degrees because he loads up on every punch, and Dimitri Bivol did. I mean, and Beterbiev didn't. It leads you to think. Well, I remember a few times during the Majimov fight, Crawford had his guard up and got hit right in the mouth. I mean, his guard literally did nothing to some of those punches of Majimov. Majimov is 154 pounds and not known to be a devastating knockout artist. He's not, but Canelo is. And there hasn't been one person that ever fought Canelo that said his power ain't real. They all stress that it's real. They all say that it's it's you know that it's a real thing, and his punches hurt like hell. You know. Hold on, let me see if I can. If I touch this with this. Nah, I don't like that. How do I get that back? Um, I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't hit something, and I didn't took something off. Let me see if I take this green screen off. Hey, what I just do? Hopefully, I ain't mess up the video. But anyway, here we go. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I think Crawford's going to have a hard time blocking Canelo's shots. I do. I think that he's going his shots. I think by the seventh, eighth round, I think that it is very possible. I mean, you gotta think, man. Canelo hits at the legs, at the thighs, at the hips, at the arms. There were some fighters, man. They had on he had a big knot on his arm, looked like a doggone softball underneath his skin, just on his fucking bicep. It came from Canelo hitting his arm. You seen Bivol after the fight, arm completely black and blue. Canelo is going to hit everything on Crawford, and every punch is going to hurt. The question is, will he be able to defend himself? People can say Crawford's strong all he wants to. I do believe he's strong. I do believe he put the weight on right, and I am actually going for Crawford to win. I hope he wins. That's who I want to win. But this black man's dog, baby, we're gonna tell the truth, and the truth is, I don't think he's gonna be able to block those shots consistently for 12 rounds. I know he's been training with the weight that's on. I know he's been, you know, what's it called, going rounds with the weight that's going rounds, heavier weight, running backwards, strengthen your thighs. But what Tyson say, everybody has a game plan until you get hit. Jamel Charlo was in there. He was bigger. You can tell he was bigger. Look at his body. His body was just, it wasn't as cut as Crawford. He just put that weight on and just said, fuck it. But it wasn't as put together as Crawford. And Charlo isn't as known to be as strong as Crawford, but he's bigger than Crawford. You can just look at him and tell he's his body is just a naturally bigger guy, and he put the weight on. And soon as goddamn Crawford hit him, he ran for the rest of the fight. Soon as he, soon as he hit him, it was over. The fight was over, and I'm just like, yeah, Crawford is an absolutely dog in that ring. But everybody knows if you watch Crawford, that may be his downfall. That his desire to want to fight, his desire to want to exchange, and I think that that's something that's going to maybe be a detriment because he has to stay patient. Crawford is known as a patient fighter, but he has to stay patient. He has to stay focused, and he can't just jump in because Canelo's going to bait him. Canelo's going to bait him because Canelo knows that there's nothing Crawford's going to offer in his punching power that he hasn't felt before, and that's of that. Pain is of the mind. If you can handle the pain, you can endure. And Crawford and Canelo knows I've endured greater punchers. So what I think he's going to do is that he's going to come in there and let Crawford tag off on him and get used to him. Think he got his hands down, boom, because Crawford's going to exchange. Crawford is going to prove to everybody he ain't going to run, and Canelo knows it, and I think Crawford knows it. I think Crawford's team doesn't want him to stand in the middle of the ring, but I think there's going to come to a point in that fight that Crawford, he gets hit, he may get knocked down early, he may get knocked down late, but once that happens and that crowd starts standing on the feet and everybody like, oh snap, and Crawford feels that energy, and he feels the energy in that dog and that pressure in his head to deliver, and I think he needs to stay disciplined, but I think what's going to happen is he's going to try to fight Canelo. I think that Crawford is a great fighter, maybe a better fighter. But at this weight class and not ever having any fights at this weight class, to see if the power is transfer overs, to see if your legs can take it, to see if you can get away with doing things that you could do before, to see how it feels to be, hey, I went 12 rounds with getting hit in my shoulders. I get 12 rounds of walking around at 168, fighting on 168. I did 12 rounds. I know I can do. He's never done it before. He's never even came close to it. He went at 154, but there's 160 and there's 168 still to go for him to see if his body can handle it. And if you watch the Madrimov fight, one thing about it is I do think that Bud won, and I don't think he was in danger of losing, but I do think that what you saw in there is that Madrimov was able to hit him with that right hand consistently. Canelo's going to tag him with that left, and damn sure he's going to hit him with that right uppercut. But does Crawford have the skill set? I wouldn't say the skill set. He has all the skill set in the world to block and have his guard up, and he's disciplined, and he can box to have his guard up. He's gonna slip, he's gonna counter, but even with that guard up, even with that defense he has up, and Canelo's right in front of him, teeing off, he's not blocking all them punches. And by round 8, 9, 10, you've been hitting your legs, your arm probably got a whelp on it, you're cut, your body is just you done pushed, and you're showing everybody how strong you are, and you and Canelo in the ring locking horns, and y'all pushing each other back, and you slipping and moving, getting away from the power shots. Them legs, bro. How much strength does he have in those legs? A lot of people think that people just get knocked out. No, they get knocked out because their legs are gone. They get knocked out because they don't have no defense. My dog about to start tripping. We got American Bully, man. He about to start tripping, man. We got some people over there. They building some houses behind me, man. They working. I got this fence you can see through, kind of. The dog wasn't having that shit. Yep. He just following the dude, and I ain't running. But anyway, my thing is like, you getting hit all those by round 9, 10, 11. We've never seen Crawford. I think we're going to be in a situation where we've never seen Crawford take this amount of punishment. Remember when Wilder fought Fury the first time? Wilder did an amazing job the first time. He really did. Why? Because Wilder was Wilder. Wilder came in around like 209. Wilder was quick. His punches was fast. And he can handle his weight a lot more. That second fight, when Wilder came in bigger, you saw Wilder was tired by round two. Round two, Wilder was exhausted. By round four, damn near the fight was over. Wilder just had enough punching power to and resil and heart to keep going, man. But the difference between Wilder and Crawford is Crawford don't have Wilder's 1 KO knockout power. And that's what dropped Fury. That's what dropped Fury, you know? Um, yeah. Because if you watch even Usyk hit Fury, Fury went into the ropes and, we thought he was gone, but nobody dropped Fury like Francis Ngannou or Wilder. Why? Because they had that unusual punching power. Terence Crawford is a super strong guy who is knocking everybody out, but he was knocking everybody out at a smaller weight class, and he's able to carry more weight. I don't think you know what I mean. So, but this time is different. Now he's fighting somebody who is that Fury. Because remember, Fury was like came in damn near 300 pounds on Wilder, so that's a huge gap. He's fighting somebody with a huge gap on weight size on him. Maybe not the stature and sense of height, because I think they're going to look even a little bit. But once you get in that ring, you're going to start to see Canelo as the bigger fighter. He's going to fight bigger. But can Crawford keep Canelo off of him? Can he keep off him? I mean, I think that's going to be the question to everybody. Now, let's just say he does. Let's just say Crawford can block, parry, the shots. I highly doubt this, but because I've seen it in Imagine that he was that you hear my dog, lazy ass. All you did was run twice. He's so lazy. But anyway, why you gotta come over here by me? Why you gotta come by me? But anyway, but yeah, man, my thing is like yawning. But my thing is like there's a difference between what Wilder was way outweighed. Crawford is going to be definitely not way outweighed like that margins, but you're going to tell that hey, he ain't used to fighting at this class. Looking at that Madrimov fight, bro, and seeing how easy Madrimov was able to land that right hand consistently, was able to really land the shots off, even jabs consistently. Canelo don't jab like that, but I think Crawford's up for this. Canelo's up for this fight. Canelo's up for this fight. So that's the thing. That's the thing, man. When you Bevel, he says that Crawford can get it done. He can get it done. But my thing is like we've seen every opponent that Canelo. See, they're like Canelo don't knock nobody out. Well, Canelo's fighting some big guys, bro. We ain't gonna act like he ain't. He's fighting a lot. He's fighting bigger guys than him. At this level, you're not gonna knock everybody out, man. But he drops everybody. He's damn near knocking everybody down except what? Who? Bivol and William Skull, who ran. Even William Skull was like, William Skull's a big dude. I know. Showbaz was talking about he met him and how big this guy is. I've never met him, man, but he didn't look small. You know what I mean? He didn't look small. He looked good, quick on his feet. So I know the Bud was studying the movements, but I don't think the Bud can move the way that Skull is going to move because that's not Bud's MO. And for 12 rounds, Skull's used to carrying that weight. You have Canelo who's fighting against light heavyweights, bro. Light heavyweights, and they're saying that he punches harder than the best and hardest heavyweight puncher in the game. It better be if. Now, of course, you got the Mexican monster, you know, David Benavidez, who may say different with his, but everybody gets hit. Even Morrell put David Benavidez down. When you getting up in that era, a lot of people can crack, man. A lot of people can crack, and if you coming up from 147, 154, and fighting somebody at 168 who's hurting people, who hurting light and heavyweights, bro, you got to come with something different. You have to come with something different. Now, okay, so what can Crawford do? Well, Canelo's not like the Canelo of old. And Canelo doesn't consistently move his head consistently. He has great head movement when he wants to. But you know you got Canelo when he starts laying on them ropes and he got his hands down and he starts doing all that head moving stuff because Canelo's trying to set you up for trap, but also he's blew his load. He's also like, okay, he's taking my punches, he's still coming, he's still attacking me. I need to figure out plan B and C. That's when you know you got Canelo's respect when you do that. When you see Canelo against them ropes and his head down and he getting punched, at that point you got Canelo's respect. But Canelo is a very, very savvy fighter though. Because if you watch the Caleb Plant fight, Caleb Plant was winning every damn round to those last ones. Because Canelo, he has a good way of, it's not consistent because Canelo's not a consistent fighter. He's just a great fighter. But if you notice with Canelo, he does a good job of finding his range, getting in and landing shots. And even if you saw it in spurts with Bivol, he would get in there and land his spots. But Bivol was just, he had that jab, he had that 1-2, that Russian style, that in and out, and he was good on his feet, able to move around the ring, and really keep Canelo from finding that consistent rhythm of finding his range of getting to him. And he had enough pop to, Canelo was like, oh shit, I'm getting hit too. Not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can do that. Bivol was hurting better, Viv. So he definitely has a little pop to him, and you know he had Canelo on the ropes, really tagging him. But that's the thing with Crawford. Even though, let's just say he has that same skill set and ability to do so, he's never had to carry that weight over 12 rounds. While another person at 168 who he's never fought, who's never felt anything like this, is also an apex predator who's also coming and also has everything to lose. Who also has just said, I don't have no respect for you. He told Crawford, I don't have no more respect for you. He said, you're no different. He said, remember when Crawford pushed him? He said, I'm gonna remember what you just did. Yeah, he's fighting a motivated Canelo for sure. But let me know what you think, man. Does Crawford have enough strength defensively, blocking, to to defend himself against Canelo, man? Let me know. Let me know what you think.